I think it's going to be very competitive. I think there are a lot of schools that can win it. I think the four, if they get through the first round, have the best chance. But you got to win that first one, and that's always, teams can get loosened up in that first game to play that first round, so you got to get through that first one. But the four that draw the bye, and only have to play 3 games, that your odds go up there.
Dylan and Elgin got first team all conference. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, they deserve it. They deserve it. They did a great job, and Chris, and Tyler, they're all well deserving. I'm really happy for those guys. We've got good players, and they've been really fun to work with. So I'm really happy for all of them.
What's it kind of say about Elgin's season? It never kind of felt like he was the focal go-to point, but he was always there, always consistent, and really had a big second half.
Well, we didn't really have a go-to. We had a lot of guys that could make plays. Dylan had maybe the opportunity to make the most plays, but Elgin, Tyler, at some point in time, all of them stepped up. Dylan didn't have a real productive offensive outing the last 2 games, and other guys picked it up, but Elgin's been really consistent. He's had other than the Bay Area where none of us played well, but other than that, Elgin's really had a good year and really played well this last weekend.
Dylan get a couple stitches and was fine. It looked like he's out there.
Yeah. Got a bandage on, but he had to get a couple stitches there, and I think he'll be all right.
What's Jordan Bell doing differently the last couple of weeks offensively for you guys? I mean, it seems like he's
been a little more aggressive. He worked in the off season. Before he hurt his foot, he was working really hard on his offensive game, and so he can score. He's really helped us offensively. His shooting percentage is very good. Gets a little casual with the ball occasionally, but other than that, he's done a very good job for us offensively.
Dwayne thinks maybe you guys should go to him a little bit more on the block. Is that something that should be exploited, or is it just kind of a matchup?
Well, when Dwayne gets to call the plays, he's got a chance to throw him the ball anytime he's got it. So, his percentages are good. Like I said, and he gets a little casual with the ball a little bit, but his percentages are pretty good.
Dwayne was saying that one of the lessons that this team learned from the tournament last season, the Pac-12 tournament specifically, was that kind of toughness. Is that something you're trying to instill in them this time around?
Oh, I don't know. Are who you are right now, and I think our guys have battled pretty good. We've had some games we haven't been particularly proud of, but for the most part, they've played pretty well. So, I think we're ready. It'll be tough. Washington is very talented. Stanford beat us. If we do happen to make it through that first round, rematch with Arizona, the field's good. This is the deepest our league has been. And I think it's the toughest, field the tournament will have. So, I think we got 7 teams that should be in the tournament, and there'll sure be a couple trying to get there, this week.
So as you're saying that you kind of are who you are right now, then what do you focus on heading into the tournament?
Just improving in on the boards, defensively, communication. I don't think you can make any major jumps now. It's just confidence offensively, and with communication on the defensive end, I think that gives you confidence. And then our board play has been pretty good, so we need to continue that.
In a tournament setting like the Pac-12 tournament, what do you hope to see out of your team? You guys are the 1 seed. You're kind of the favorite going into this thing. What's the goal for this team in this Pac-12 tournament?
Just play as well as we can. Win the first game first. That's 2 or 3 years ago. Washington, we went into overtime. With them in that first game. So, you got to get ready for that first one and got to get through the first one, and sometimes that's not easy. So, our goal right now is to find a way to win Thursday at noon.
Sometimes you see teams play well in their conference tournaments or even win their conference tournaments and then get really hot going into the March Madness tournament. Do you believe in that the conference tournament has something to do with your success in the postseason?
Oh, it varies from case to case. I know Iowa State won the Big 12 last year and then got beat in the first round. It varies from case to case. You can get on a little roll, in your conference tournament and get it going, but sometimes, guys say it tires you out and you're worn out when you go to the NCAA tournament. So I think each team is different. Heck, we just want to go play and try to win.
How big of a deal is it for Oregon to get that regular season title for only the 5th time?
Well, it's only the second time in 71 years, so I mean that's kind of a big deal. And you know, you go back to 1918, 19, and you only have 5 of them. You know, it's a big deal. And so you know, like I told our guys, it is a little bit of history. Our university, our basketball program doesn't have many championships to hang its hat on, so it is big.
Dwayne was saying that the reason why this team has been such a good second half season team is because of you. So I have to ask, what are you doing to this team in the second half?
You know, I don't know. Any team that gets a little bit better is because, you know, we work together. And, you know, we've had coachable teams here, guys that really want to get better. And, you know, that's been the key. You know, coach and a team, you know, a team doesn't get better if they don't want to get better and if they don't want to work with the coaching staff. And I got great staff, and the guys have been just easy to work with. So we've gone through our ups and downs, but for the most part, they've been a great group to work with.
The noon start, anything different for you? You gotta
I'm sorry?
adjust to the noon start?
You know, we've had 3 1 o'clock starts throughout the year, and I think we're 3-0 in those games. So, you know, it is early, but, you know, we'll get the guys up a little earlier, and it shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't be a problem.
You guys have a potential chance to, with a good week, get a #1 seed with just the parity in college basketball this year. Is that as important this season as it maybe has been in the past?
You know, again, that's totally out of our control. The only thing we can control is, you know, winning on Thursday, and then hopefully getting an opportunity to play on Friday. And whatever happens, wherever they put us, we just got to go play. You know, I mentioned that the other day. You know, 3 years ago, in our first appearance, had us as a 12. You know, and I told our guys, you know, we're only a 12 if we think we're a 12. You know, and you know, no one that goes into that tournament, you know, doesn't have extreme confidence because they've won some games. And so, like I said, it's only a number. So no matter what number they put on us, we got to go play. And so whatever they give us, we'll figure it out then and try to go play as best we can.
From your eyes, though, you know, a lot of us have made a big deal about just how close college basketball has seemed this year. But from a coaching perspective, do you guys see the same thing? You guys obviously view it with different eyes than we do.
Yeah, you know, I don't get to see as many games as I'd like to nationally because, you know, you get focused in on the West Coast. And, like, I haven't watched many games at the ACC at all. I've watched some of the Big 12 because of Coach Kruger and, you know, my ties there. I've watched some of the Big 10, a few Southeast Conference, but haven't seen much of the Big East, haven't seen much of the ACC. The only Big East teams I've watched are Creighton, you know, and when they've played somebody. So you just don't see enough games to really go, man, this team's great, you know. So, you know, I don't know. I'm sure that it'll be very competitive like it always is. And, you know, it's so much about matchups, you know, how teams match up and their strengths versus your weaknesses and so forth, and getting a favorable matchup. So we'll just have to wait and see.